Amen. Our message today is out of Psalm 39, once again, starting in verse 7. Same song, different message. That's Psalm 39, starting at verse 7. What about dealing with difficulties, trials, problems? Fill in the blank. Starting in verse 7, he says, and this is David speaking to God, and he says, "And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee." This is remarkable. This is David saying, what am I waiting for? My hope's in you. Now you can say, well, what is he talking about? What am I waiting for? Well, we're all waiting for something, or at least so we think. I mean, we're waiting for our cold to pass, or the flu. We're waiting to get rid of someone who's a pain in the neck at work, or at home, or wherever. It happens. We're waiting for that vacation that we're planning. We're waiting to get rid of something we don't want, or to get something we do want. But we're waiting for something. We're waiting to become 18. I remember what that was like. All kinds of stuff we wait for, to get rid of or to get. And he's saying, but what am I waiting for? My hope is in you. Now, it's easy to miss what he's getting at here. It's like, so how do you connect the two? He said, what am I waiting for? My hope is in you. Well, because in the process of waiting to get rid of something, and we're hoping to get rid of something, we're hoping to get something. But we're always hoping. And then we hope for something, and then we get it and say, maybe I shouldn't have been hoping for that. Well, that isn't quite what I expected. Good, bad, whatever. But David, he's focused. He says, my hope is in God. Because, we never really know enough. If you think about it, we never really know enough to make a proper decision. Sometimes we luck out and it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. But we never really know everything that we really need to know to make a proper decision. So we jump in faith and we make a decision. And what David is saying here is, there's lots of things I hope for. But I only need to hope in one person, and that's in Jesus. I just need to hope in God, because I know that God wants the very best for me. So I don't have to be distracted by thinking about this and this and this and this and that, and I don't want that, and I want more of that. And stuff. I don't have to do that. All I have to do is hope in God, and He's going to give me the very best, so I can stay focused and not distracted by a whole bunch of things and then get messed up in terms of what I'm trying to do day to day. Amen. And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in Thee. And then he goes on to say something interesting. Deliver me from all my transgressions, make me not the reproach of the foolish. So what's that got to do with my hope? Well, this is a special kind of hope, like when we get into trouble and we want to get out of it. Sometimes it will take a long time to get ourselves into trouble, but we want to get out like that. We want to get out right away. We don't want to wait 5 days, 5 hours, 5 minutes. We want out now. And what gets us into that trouble? Well, sometimes things that have nothing to do with us. We're driving our car and some drunk driver slams into us and our car is totaled off. We might be fine. Maybe somebody's injured. But it really doesn't matter. When you get to that point, it doesn't matter whether you were drunk or somebody else was drunk. It does make a difference in terms of legalities. And it does complicate the situation in terms of if you did something wrong. But ultimately, when you're looking at the results of what's happened, it's easy to get distracted. Well, it's not my fault. Yeah, but that doesn't change the broken leg you got. And you see, the enemy always wants you to focus on whose fault. Why did it happen? But that'll never make your situation better. Ever. It doesn't ever make your situation better. It is what it is. I still got a broken leg. So rather than me fretting all day long about how this leg got broken or how it wasn't my fault, it's like, what can I do to make this leg better? How can I make my life more comfortable, because it's going to be uncomfortable? So we always have to focus on What is God working on me here? It's our transgressions that get us into trouble, and God allows those troubles to come on us to see, first of all, that we're on the wrong track, and secondly, to deal with those things so that they don't come back on us. Because there's lots of things we get involved in. It's like, hey, I really don't want to do this anymore. But it's a bad habit. Like smoking. There's a lot of smokers I know that they really don't want to be smoking anymore, but it's an old bad habit. Although I've always said I can recommend a way to stop smoking right away. And I've never heard a smoker tell me it didn't work. None of them tried it. I said, whatever's left after you finish your smoke, chew it up and swallow it. I said, I guarantee you'll stop smoking. They've all agreed, but I've never heard anybody trying it yet. So, deliver me from all my transgressions. Quite often it's me that gets me into trouble. And then I get angry about it. I get angry because it's my fault. I get angry because I don't want it to be my fault. I get angry because now I've got repercussions I didn't want to have to deal with. Like we can get a free meal. I mean, it's like we can do bad stuff and then we don't expect bad stuff to come back on us. It's kind of strange, but I guess it's human nature. And so we have to deal with how we feel about it. And the transgressions are still there. It's still something we got to do. He calls it transgressions. You can call it mistakes, you can call it errors, you can call it sin. But he's saying, deliver me from all my transgressions, from all my sins, from all my bad ways. Why? Well, because that's what gets me into most of my trouble most of the time. Now, I am the source of most of my own trouble. So deliver me from myself. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. Don't make the foolish people make a joke out of me. I mean, that's as low as you get, right? He says, I was dumb. I opened not my mouth because thou didst it. He said, I couldn't say anything against it because you allowed it. And think about it. If God allowed it into your life, he allowed it there for a purpose. Not just for a purpose, but he allowed it for your good. How do you know that? The Bible says, all things work together for good for those that love God and called according to his purpose. So if it's a bad thing that happened, it's like, oh yeah, but God's allowing it to bring good out of it. So let's look at it in a positive way. It's easy to see the negative part. Let's look for the good in it. What is it that God's trying to do that's going to make my situation better, make me a better person? I said, okay, what am I hoping for? My hope's in you. Deliver me from my transgressions. I was dumb. I knew how this happened. Verse 10, then he says, remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thine hand. He's saying, I'm taking your beating, Lord, but it's not easy. Please stop. Verse 11, when thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Selah. He said, God, when you start to beat up on someone, man, they don't look so good anymore. He said, we're only here for a short time. We're just vanity. Have mercy. Verse 12, hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear unto my cry. Why is he saying that? He wants to make sure he's got communication with God. He wants to make sure that God understands. He's asking God to stop. I've heard lots of people pray, and more often than not, they'll talk about lots of stuff, but they never actually ask God for anything. It's strange. They pray and they talk about all kinds of things, and they'll even talk about their problems, but they don't ask God to change anything, to solve anything, to do a work. It's like, how would you react if that happened to you? Someone came to you and told you the whole story, and then they walked away. You might not be angry, but you'd be kind of puzzled. So, why did you talk to me? Was there a purpose in all of this? Don't expect God to just jump in and do something simply because you're talking about the problem. He's given us all free will. Now consider, if he allows us to make mistakes we know are wrong or bad for us, do you think he's going to interfere just because we're talking about a problem? No, it's not going to happen. We have to ask him to solve the problem. He's given us that kind of authority. He's like, I'm not going to invest with you unless you ask me, and then I'll help you. That's an amazing thing when you think about it. He's God, and he's saying, I'm not going to mess with you unless you ask for it. That's the opposite of control, of a control freak. That's an uncontrolled freak, I guess you'd say.
Humility.
Verse 12, hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee and a sojourner, as all my fathers were. He says, I hardly know you. I'm not here very long. Have mercy on me, because my time is short. Show mercy. And he's petitioning God to hear his prayer. Well, we know he hears us, but he really wants to get God's attention. You know, the attitude that he's displaying here is exactly what God wants, what Jesus said he wants from us. Childlikeness. Not childishness, childlikeness. Daddy, I need your help. And I've never seen a child yet who didn't think their daddy could fix anything.
Right.
And that's what he wants from us. It's like, Daddy, I want you to fix my problem. Give ear to my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears. I'm a stranger, a sojourner. Oh, spare me that I may recover strength before I go hence and be no more. He says, spare me so I can get strong again before I die. You see, it's not that he's negative, but he knows that without God he can do nothing. The strength that I have, God's given me. The mind that I have, God's given me. The talents I have, God's given me. There's nothing that I have that God didn't give me. So really, it's not about what I can do for God. It's really about me getting closer to God. It's about eternity. David understands this. And that's why he starts out by saying, what am I waiting for? The only thing I can wait for is God. And if he's always there, then it's not really me waiting for God, it's about God waiting for me. So I can get into his presence, I can talk about my problems, and he can solve my problems. It's amazing when you think of it. Now everybody, when they get into a problem, it's like, I want to focus on, well, who's responsible, and why did this happen, and why should it have to be me? But we've heard all that good stuff because we've said all that good stuff. But it never does us any good, yet we still go back to it. And David here is giving us a much better way. Okay, whatever it is that happened, it's basically spiritual in nature. It has nothing to do with anybody else, but it has everything to do with me, God working in my life to make me better. Not better against my will, better so that I have more peace, more joy, more fulfillment, more of everything. That we can have life abundantly, it says. An abundant life. Body, soul, and spirit. Health, strength, joy, peace, everything. And it all just starts with going to God. Recognizing I don't wait for anything except for God. When I got a problem, I go to God. When something good happens, I go to God. Why do I go to God when something good happens? Because he means something to me. You can always find people to cry to when things are going bad. But you only really share the good things with someone that's close to you. God wants to hear about the good things too. You have friends that come to you, they'll talk to you when things are bad, but they'll never talk to you when things are good. What kind of friend is that? If you only hear bad news from them all the time, do you really want to talk to them? Oh no, it's not them again. Because you know, one way or the other, it's going to be some kind of bad news. We don't want that. God wants it. God wants to have a relationship with us. He wants us to not just take care of us when we got problems. He wants to talk to us when things are fine because he wants to make them better. And when things are better, he wants to hear from us so he can make them even better than that.
Amen.
He's a good God. And that's my message for today.